Today on Brilliance Business TV, we have Brenda Dempsey. Brenda is a visionary action woman and spirited leader. No stopping Brenda, a diamond woman during COVID-19 with a wealth of experience and expertise in writing and books. She created her new business, Brilliance Publishing, a publisher with a difference for authors, speakers, and entrepreneurs. A partnership publishing house that puts its authors at the heart so they can partner their way to success. Business brilliance on a global stage where you drive, we navigate. Stay tuned. Welcome to Brilliance Business TV, conversations with leading experts in business. I am your host, Mark Stephen Pooler. We have an incredible guest today, Brenda Dempsey. She's a personal friend. We have collaborated together, and she is so passionate about getting her clients to become professional published authors. Her books are absolutely incredible quality, and she really cares about her clients, and she has a fascinating story as well, so stay with us. I just want to make an official shout out to our show sponsors, Craig Shelley, Beverly Hills Luxury Watches and Fine Jewelry at craigshelley.com. We are live on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, LinkedIn, and we're also streaming through the E360 TV network under Fresh Takes, going out to Apple TV, Fire TV, Android TV, Roku, and many more. And we're also live on MSP News Global.com. So let's bring in our incredible guest, Brenda Dempsey. Hi, Brenda. Welcome to Brilliance Business TV.
Hi, Mark. Thanks very much for inviting me along to share just some joy and all about business, because who says business has to be born? Well, certainly not if you are in my camp, that's for sure.
Brenda, you are so passionate about getting your clients as published authors. Your books are incredible. I've been lucky to be one of your co-authors in your latest one, Resilient Voices, which we will be talking all about a bit later in the show. I would just like to go back a little bit, because you only launched this business when COVID-19 really started to take hold. So it's a fresh business. I believe you have just had your first birthday, and what you have achieved in 12 months is really inspiring. So just tell us a little bit about that, please, Brenda.
Sure, Mark. So you know, I had been an author, been an international best-selling author, a UK #1 Amazon UK author, and I was helping people write books. I was working with alongside a publisher as their children's expert and business mentor, and COVID struck, and unfortunately, the other business struggled, and we just lost contact, and which then left me with people asking me to write the book. So I was working with one of my authors, helping her write her book. And then she goes, can you publish it for me? Because she didn't want to self-publish. There's a place for self-publishing, but not if you're serious about your business. It's not the place to self-publish and to publish, sorry. And so there was this opportunity. So there was all the universe was, you know what the universe is like. It was presenting all these opportunities, but I wasn't particularly walking through the door. It was like I was peeking through going, wonder what's behind this door. And then it was round about end of April, beginning of May. I'd been speaking to a couple of ladies who would be able to help me drive a great business. And fortunately for me, they were furloughed and were available. And so the rest is history. So we took the next 6 weeks to build a foundation because it's very important. So I walk my talk. So with every author who comes through our doors, we build a solid foundation in which to build their brand, the book, and take it beyond the book in their business. So to take it to a global stage, that's what we're all about. Being global and making a huge difference, because the authors that come to me are always on a purpose. They're on a purpose. So on 22nd of June, 2020, we launched. And it's just been incredible. And in 1 year, you know, when a lot of businesses fail, you know, we're in that small percentage. I've forgotten the figure that somebody gave me, but it's gone out my head. I don't want to say it in case it's wrong, but that small percentage of businesses first year, we are in the black. We're heading upward, and we've had over 100 authors through our doors in 1 year.
Congratulations, Brenda. What really stands out to me about your story, what you have just shared, you admitted yourself your other business failed, which so many businesses did because of COVID. Yeah. And we're still getting out of this mess now. But you showed the true spirit of what entrepreneurship is all about. And that's being able to change and adapt to new circumstances and really thinking outside the box and trying new things. That must have been a little bit scary at that time, but you took that risk. And to have got 100 published authors in that time, that's a real big achievement, Brenda.
Yeah, it is. And I think, you know, the other thing, like, so when authors come to me, I have some incredible people. There's incredible people and resilient voices, and I know we're going to speak about it later. But what strikes me about these incredible people who are achieving great things, they lack confidence in themselves. It's like it's a paradox, you know. It's like, how can you be successful but not have confidence, you know? And it's like people, when they step into the arena, can be really confident, and when they step out of the arena, it goes, or, you know, they don't think they're good enough. It's just incredible. So that's where my life coaching comes into play, and then the business coaching, making sure that their book's aligned with their business. Most importantly, that's aligned with their values. And a lot of people in business and successful people haven't even began to think about the values in that, what I call an awakened state, consciousness. Yes, it's there. They're living their values, and the values is there. But when you build a business around awakened consciousness, knowing who you are, knowing what you stand for and what your mission is and why you need to make a difference, so it's aligned with your purpose. And that's what happened with Brilliance Publishing. So in the coaching, my business wasn't doing anything like what it's doing now, but I was the same person, but I wasn't fully connected and aligned. That is a significant difference. And now I know that. So that makes me passionate to show other people that if you just tweak a few things here, start believing, living in joy, living with love, being heart-led, not being strong-minded. Of course, you need a solid mindset. but you need to be heart-led as well. You need to care and serve others in the best way that you can. So when you connect with all of that, then your genius of your knowledge and your skills and your learning and your expertise and your experience, oh boy, you have got one little bomb of brilliance. And you know, and that's our word, isn't it? You've got a bomb of brilliance. I quite like that. I think I've just invented a new the bomb of brilliance that then just shines and you become the beacon of light and other people find you. So, you know, I do a lot of PR. I love PR and I promote my authors. I love promoting people. I'm a bit like you. Maybe PR is my business. But we've not done any marketing as such, although you could argue PR and marketing is one and the same thing. But people just come from all over and approach me to write a book, and I'm thinking, where did you find me? So they see me on LinkedIn, they see me across social media, and there's just something in that energy that attracts them to me, or the referrals. So I know that successful businesses, that's how they're successful. It's word of mouth. It's walking the talk. I'm a big believer walking the talk. I don't ask anybody to do anything that I've not achieved myself or done myself, you know. So from every little job in your business where you start off as one person till you go into the next bit, and that's where we're at. So at the minute, I'm just like a solopreneur with this team. But now, and you know, these last few weeks, it's like, oh my God, I need to be acting as if I'm a multi-million-pound publishing company, because that's the amount of people we need to offer our authors the very, very best. So if you want the very, very best, you need to be ready to invest, because it doesn't just take one wee person going, oh yeah, we can help you write a book. It takes an army of brilliance to create a brilliant book that's ready for a global stage. Because when your business gets to that point, oh my God, that's a new set of challenges that you're faced with. And that's where I am just now after 1 year in business. I cannot believe where I am after 1 year and how much we are growing. But I'm going back to what I said at the beginning. That's because everything is grounded in our values of integrity, collaboration, and reliability. And reliability is in there because I don't know about you. I'm sure you know, Mark, there are many people out there who promise you this in 30 days, earn this in 20 days, you know, do this. And, you know, but there's a lot of hard work to get to that point. And for me, it's about the quality. It's about the integrity of saying, yes, we can achieve this. I can show you. But the work of an author only starts when they've got that book in their hand. That's when the real work starts.
I hear you. Some great points there. I agree that when you are aligned, everything does flow. I also agree with referrals. My business is a heavily referral business. I get so many referrals from existing clients, and that is a sign of a job done well when your clients refer other people to you. And you also mentioned people should invest, and I always get alarm bells, Brenda, when there's people I may be talking to about working with and they don't want to invest in their business, because I know how much I've invested and still am invested. I've got a new book project coming out in about 7 weeks. It's a book all about PR and media. I've got a funnel with it, so they go into an email list. And I've spent thousands and thousands and thousands to get this new system in place. So when people are worrying about investing a few £100 or a few £1,000, those are not the kinds of people I ever want to work with, because if they just want a freebie, free is not a great option most of the time. So entrepreneurs out there, investing in your business is so important. Now, just tell us a little bit, Brenda, about your business and what you do with authors?
Well, you see, so I was in education for 25 years, and for me, I started off as a primary school teacher and got into special needs before ending up in a mainstream secondary. And for me, we're not parts, we're a whole. So I am just absolutely aligned with a holistic approach. And that's what makes us unique and innovative and different from many other publishers out there, because we can take authors from an idea to writing a book, to publishing a book, to beyond a book, with marketing, PR, business mentoring. If they need personal development, we offer the whole shebang. And every author who comes to us starts with one-to-ones with me. So we get that foundation, because when you know that foundation, you know which stories are important. You know which stories to use at what parts in your business. That's important. We love stories. We've been telling stories since time began. We love it. Even gossiping. People like a good gossip. So why not turn all of that love for information and stories about other people and how did they do it? How can they do that when they've done this? I don't know about you, but ask those questions. So we look at all of that so that when you're either writing the book, depends on what the book's about, whether it's fiction, non-fiction, but there's always those elements that we need to have, because even in fiction, there's elements of you in it, because there's little snippets of truth in your imaginative, letting that creativity flow. And that's really important. So we take them through that journey. We give our authors training. We've got training by the amazing Dee Blick on marketing, what that means. So we have that. We have a 14-week countdown. We have a 90-day marketing program pre-launch and post-launch. So we are not just a publisher who goes, yeah, here's your book, bye. No, we don't do that. So we have marketing and PR. I interview. We send people your way. And, particularly when people want to be on a global stage, then they need to be speaking to you. So some people go, I just want to be in the UK. But if you are on a purpose and got a mission, that mission's got to be big. It's audacious. Yes. It's bigger than you. It's got to scare you. It's got to take you outside your comfort zone every single day. Every single day. And that's what happens to me every single day. I'm growing in my knowledge and my confidence in, I can't ask that person that. And then I go, no, I'm fearless. I'm a braveheart. I'm asking them. What's the worst? The worst anybody can say is no. And if you are primed for no's, then it doesn't matter. Because when you are solid in who you are, going back to that, and have your own confidence and you're aligned and connected with who you are, you've got a story and a mission that the world has to hear. So we all need to be wanting to share our wisdom and genius and gifts on a global stage. It's our duty to share our stories, because you've got a big story, I've got a big story, and when people hear our stories and see where we are, listen, I was a kid that was born in a tenement on the boundary of Clydebank and Glasgow. The expectations for someone like that was like, you worked in a shop, you worked in, it was very industrial when I grew up. So there was the shipyards and there was the Singer machine factory. Very few people went to university. I'm one of 4 children. I'm the only one in my family that went to university. So you need to know all these stories and how that impacts on you, what you're offering people, so you can step in other people's shoes. You understand you've got high emotional intelligence. So all these things come into play in all my development, in my leadership, in my educational background, and what I've learned so far and what I know about the book trade. You see, so as a professional partnership publisher, we are on a world stage. We're not just Amazon. And then people go, but do you sell on Amazon? Of course we sell. Amazon's a bookshop. That's all it is. It's a glorified store. That's what it is. It's not the book trade. That's why Amazon ISBNs are only recognised by Amazon and not the book trade. So if you're serious, you need to get on a global stage. You need a serious professional ISBN number that can help you with your book. So we take them through all of that beyond the book. So lots of interviews, lots of doors of opportunity opening. Most important thing is to raise your visibility. One of the first questions I ask people is, what's your following on social media? And I can't believe I'm doing the same as the big boys, because that's what they ask, you know, because at first I'm thinking, oh, it's not going to be about that. But it doesn't matter if they come to us and they go, well, we've not got any. By the time they leave, they're on social media, because you know you need to be on social media. You need to be visible, because if you want to be a bestseller and you want to sell thousands of books, how can anybody buy your book if they don't know who you are and they don't know your book? They don't know you from Adam.
It's very true.
There's hundreds of thousands of books each year, about a 250,000, 500,000 books every year. You need to stand out, so you need to be prepared to become visible. If you're not, go and self-publish.
Great points again, Brenda, and I totally agree with going global. And I can't imagine, unless an author has got a really localized book for, say, the city of Birmingham, why they would not want to be global, because authors want to get as many books sold as possible all around the world. So it's so important to have a global stage, and it's great that you support them with that, with marketing, PR, coaching, supporting them so they do stand out, and social media as well. You're so right. It's so important. Brenda, we're coming up to a commercial break, so please stay where you are. We've got more questions to get to. Thank you everyone for watching part 1 of Brilliance Business TV. We're joined with Brenda Dempsey. She has shared how she had a failing business as COVID-19 hit, but she set on a new path as a publisher. Within 12 months, she has published 100 books. She is super successful within her publishing business, and she has just celebrated her first birthday with her publishing business. Stay tuned for part 2. Welcome back to Brilliance Business TV. Today we have heard Brenda Dempsey's amazing story of how she set up her new business when COVID-19 hit. We have learned all about why it's important to publish great books. Brenda, my next question is, what are the advantages of having a great book?
Well, they're 1,000 times more than not having a great book. It brings me on to the point of, you know, is any book a good book to have? And to a point, yes. To a point, yes. But we're about quality. We're about longevity. I just saw in your advert, you know, it was talking about global business, global brand, and also legacy. So what we're about is profile raising. We're about helping people be seen as the go-to expert in their field and create that legacy. Because I said earlier, we're all here on a purpose. And the legacy is taking your story, your learning, your experience, your expertise, and creating something brilliant Now, if you don't work with professionals, you are just not going to hit all the points that you need to hit. Absolutely not. You can't guarantee the quality if you've not got that team behind you, because every great person's got a team behind them. They might start off, I started off as just Brenda Dempsey, but now I've got an amazing team. I've got raving fans, so much so that, we're global. I'm in India. We've got clients in Switzerland, Germany, South Africa, America. Our reach is getting so much more. And what's that? It's because we are shining our greatness. So when you take that greatness, I keep talking about who you are and your mission, and you put that into a great book, and then you have the right support to get you on that global stage. Yes, national, first of all. We want to be great here in the UK. Of course we do. But then when you've got that great book, that book that's what I call a definitive book, then it's the doors of opportunity that open, that do not open otherwise. So, Jenny Lee Grace has been on BBC Radio 2 presenting. She was one of my speakers at an event that I did. And she was saying that when they have got a subject, so something that's current, their research team straight away go, is there a celebrity in town that we could talk to? And and at the same time they say, and also, who is the expert in that field? Check out the books. Now, they're not going to go to Amazon. They're going to go to, they're going to go to the World Book Trade. They're going to look up for the best person, and they're going to look in London if it's BBC Two. But in this day and age, you can have anybody from all over the world. They're going to look and find the best speaker, and that person will be someone who's got a book. Now, they're going to get someone who's tried and tested, who's got some credibility, because we can all write a book, but what's the credibility of what's in it? Yes, there are people who write books and what they've got inside's brilliant, but they're not visible. They don't know who they are. So it's not just one thing. It's about having all the pieces all aligned in a row, or all come together to create the wonderful jigsaw that puts you in that place where those doors of opportunity. So our very first author, Caroline Purvey, Feel It to Heal It, #1 bestseller on Amazon. On the day that she was published, she got on the BBC radio. And within a day or two of publishing, she was invited to speak in Canada, and so it continues for her. How many months on? 8, 7, 2 and 7, 9 months on. Her book is still a bestseller in 3 categories on Amazon. And it fluctuates within the bestseller. It goes up high to like 15 still, and it plays within that realm of the top 100 best-selling books. But she's still there. You're talking about out of like 200,000 books, and she's still there because of her work. She's been noted more. She speaks with her passion, her truth. And that's what the authors who do well, they have to keep doing that. They don't go, oh, hello, here, buy my book. That's not how they do it. And we don't teach that. We don't teach that. There's a time and a place for it, but it's all about showing who you are, who your expertise is. And when people see that and they go, they've got a book, I'm buying it. Or they buy the book, then they come to work with you. So she's got the beautiful infinity going on. They see her, buy a book. They buy a book, they work with her. Absolutely.
I like that, Brenda. What makes a great book?
Heart and soul. In a phrase, heart and soul. Yes, in fiction, it's maybe, or even in non-fiction, it's the flow. It's in a fiction book, it's the twists and turns. It's keeping the reader guessing, and there's all of that. But what makes a great book is when people put their heart and soul into every bit. And even although they have challenges and they'll have down days and they'll think, oh my God, I can't do this, I'm giving up. That is a momentary thought, that because they're aligned and they know who they are, they know that there's a greatness there. They know they're on a mission, and they know they were born to do whatever it is that they're doing. So J.K. Rowling, 13 attempts or so before her book was actually accidentally found and published, or if it hadn't been accidentally found, i.e. the universe hadn't aligned and it was in that place at that time on that day with those things happening, that book could still be, you know, collecting dust somewhere, stored and not. So you need to put your heart and soul into what makes a book great. You need to then work with a team collaboratively. So we say the author drives and we navigate. So we're not the kind of publisher that goes, oh, that's not good, take that out. We don't speak to our clients with such language. If something's not quite right, we give them alternatives and we say, have you thought about this? What about that? Consider this. Maybe, you know, you should put this bit of your story at the beginning. Maybe this bit, you should be talking about it. Are you summarizing each chapter? So there are certain ingredients that go into a great book. But most of all, is it heart and soul? And are you writing your book talking to one person? A great book should be written like a conversation, unless it's academic, of course, then that's a different style of writing. But most business books that are great and do well are those books that are written where people can understand, they can take action. It's not full of gobbledygook, and it's not just going on and on and on and on. Make your point, give the example and move on. People want to do that. Yes, you're using great writing strategies like using subheadings, you know, using bullet points and putting little tables in, putting little illustrations in. So all our books are an absolute multitude of keeping the reader on their toes, what's coming next. You know, it's not just word after word after word after word after word after word. For me, that would bore me. So,
Yes.
you know, and particularly if you're trying to get a point across that's deep and it's taking you like 20 years to learn, you can't. You know, people need to hear things at least 10 times. How often, here's a wee story, how often have you said to someone, oh, if you use subheadings, that's good for your book? And then they do something and you think, why have they not got the subheading? And then all of a sudden, another person will go, oh, do you know what? In my book, I use subheadings. And then they use the subheadings and you're left going, wait a minute, I told you that 2 years ago. But that's how long it can take people to learn.
Great points, and I agree. There's nothing worse than just seeing a page of words. People want informative information and something that's going to engage their mind and their creativity. So it makes total sense what you're saying. Now, you mentioned a word which I want to touch on a little bit. You said beyond the book. So can you elaborate on beyond the book?
Yes, so as you can, like, you and I are one of a kind, right? We love the letter B. Anything to do with B, brilliance, business, book, bliss, you know, all these words, you know, a bomb of brilliance, you know.
I like that one.
I like that one, you know.
I'm pinching it.
We'll share it together, right? And we're going, hey, who's what? I don't care. See, I don't have that ego because I was a teacher. So I don't care if I use something and somebody else uses it. Who cares? That means, do you know what? What that is, that shows you're someone of influence. That shows you know the power of letting go. It's about the ripple effect. I don't own those words, you know. I'm sure there's somebody else. Have you ever looked up the internet and you find somebody and you think, oh my God, they're using that. That's what I say. That's what I say in my business. You know, so you say brilliance business and I say business brilliance. Come on, what can I say? You know, so beyond your book is, yeah. People think the hard work is all the hurdles and landmarks they need to face in order to get the book in their hand. I should have had a book here in my hand, shouldn't I have? Oh, actually, here's my first book. I've got that sitting. Voice of the Courage, right? Because you need courage. It's the first step to transformation. But beyond your book is, I've got a book. Congratulations. And so what? What are you going to do now? And authors go, well, I'm going to sell it. And how are you going to sell it? It's on Amazon. But how are people going to know your book is on Amazon? And then they start, you know, the wheels are going and they're going, oh my God. And they realize that, yeah, I've got a book. So what? So the so what is when you and I come in. It's marketing, it's PR, it's raising visibility. I mean, that's got to be a big thing for me. Becoming visible. Visibility is key to you. And I've been visible quite a lot on LinkedIn. So I have now got quite a stronghold in India. You know, if you follow me on LinkedIn, you'll see me in about 4 Indian publications, massive global publications. And I've got something that's coming out that's absolutely blown me away. And I just wrote about this today. Dream big, because you can go beyond your dreams as well. So beyond your book is what's going to happen, what's your message, what do you want, what's your goal, what's your vision? Because then what do you need to do in order to make it happen? So you don't become famous just overnight. You know, the media can make it look like that. Just take like Edison, 10,000 attempts to make a light bulb. What was he a genius as he was going through those 10,000 times? Of course he was.
They say, isn't it, 10 years to an overnight success?
That's right, at least 10. Sometimes it's 20 years, you know. So, for example, my author Karen Espley, who wrote The Impulsive Explorer, that book took 20 years to be published. 20 years, and now she's got columns, she's on radio. This is what happens beyond the book, beyond your book. It's the doors of opportunity. But you know, so with that comes, as we talked earlier, there needs to be investment. So we do enough to give you like a trumpet to look at it beyond your book, but then comes the next stage and more investment, becoming a great public speaker, knowing your book. So everything that's in your book should be part of your program, should be part of your stage work, should be part of everything you do. I talk about the head, the heart, and then the being. You infuse it and you become it. So I'm a leader. And I live as a leader. It's not just a job, and I don't take the hat off and go, all right, I'm not being a leader now. So that comes back to integrity. Who are you when no one's looking? So I lead by example. I walk my talk, you know, and I don't know any other way to be, because that's who I've been all my life. So when you get back to being aligned and knowing who you are, and the consciousness, the emotional intelligence, all of those things, that book goes beyond the book to the doors of opportunity in the stage, and you need to be ready. You need that solid foundation to be ready. Just like I'm discovering right now, my business is breaking through another glass ceiling, and I'm like, I need more people in my team. And, you know, in order to grow, I need to step outside my comfort zone and go, well, how am I going to do that? But I trust the universe will bring me the right people.
I think that as well. I think the universe, people show up at the right time, and it's always been the way in my life that wherever you are in the journey, people show up when you need them. Now, Brenda, we're coming up to the last few minutes of the show. I could talk to you all day. This is what I really want to spend the last few minutes on: resilient voices. I'm a co-author in the book, and I've shared how having resilience through the pandemic. Can you share a little bit about the idea of the book and everything that you would like to share about it?
So resilient voices, you know, I'm impulsive myself, and I'm an idea smith, just, you know, visionary. And I was sitting, I think it was around New Year's Eve 2020, and I was thinking, I'd watched all the stuff that all the people had done, you know, Captain Tom, and I'm thinking, Brenda, you are normally an action woman doing something. I was too busy building my business. I didn't have any time for anything else. My whole time was absorbed in building my business. And I was just sitting there and I'm thinking, I've got to do something, you know, because I've got my own charity anyway and all sorts of things. I'm always doing things for others. And I thought, what can I do? And I thought, oh, Brenda, come on. You've got 2 books called Voice of Courage, Voice of Hope, telling stories. Why not have one to do with voice, your truth, and resilience. And normally it would be Voices of Resilience, but that didn't have the same ring to it. So I've called it Resilient Voices. I just switched it around. This is what happens when you understand words and language, thanks to being a teacher for 25 years, you know. And so I thought, I'm going to do Resilient Voices, and I'm going to ask a whole bunch of people to be part of it. And you know what? I'm going to put up the cost of publishing it, and then I'm going to sell it, first of all, as an ebook. It was only meant to be an ebook, and all the proceeds will go to the NHS. And then obviously, as I've been talking to people going, but I want a copy. And then I thought, well, I need a third book that looks like this. I should have got you to put the picture up on the screen, sorry. Because I haven't got a book yet in my hand to show you. So I just thought, no, I'm going to do that. Well, oh my God, the people who are in that book are beyond, there's that word again, they would be beyond my intention and dream. I thought, well, I want to get really, really great people in this book. So I put it out to the universe, and lo and behold, the people came. So we've got amazing stories. We've got Dr. Georgia Budd, who herself is in a wheelchair, and she's had to get through the pandemic, and she works in A&E, you know. And we've got the great Robert Edison, a journalist, who's interviewed Maggie Thatcher, and his whole thing about resilience, his whole life has been about resilience. You know, we've got you. We've got amazing people. We've got advisors to the UN. So our book is being spoken about in America as we speak, in all sorts of things. We've got resilience on the agenda, thanks to Resilient Voices on a global stage, not by me directly, but this is the power of the ripple effect. I love the ripple effect. You know, you make a splash and it ripples out, and then more people get it and they make a splash and they make a splash. You know, so today on LinkedIn, Paul Cork, who's another great co-author, he speaks about leadership, and oh my goodness, this post has gone crazy today, you know, and this is what's going to happen. So we're going to be a bestseller. We're going to be #1 bestseller, because all that money will be going to the NHS. So who doesn't want to spend 99p to help the NHS earn some more money and make a difference with that in the lives of all those amazing people who work in the NHS? So for me, this was my charitable work for 2021. Every year I do something. Last 2019 was Voices of Joy. So and voice means your truth, speaking your truth, being aligned, speaking your truth. It's not saying, no, I don't like your hair today, but that's my truth. No, it's not. That's an opinion. Let's get it. It's about speaking your truth with love. And that's what's in this book. The resilience, the positivity, and the hope for others. The hope for others. People who've had COVID, have got long COVID, are in the book. Nurses, people who've experienced death from COVID, stories of resilience within the book. So it's just incredible, and we love stories. And every story, or even if it's one story, will inspire someone to change how they think, to take action and do something different. And then maybe themselves think, well, I now know I could help somebody, and maybe go on out and help someone, because it's about making a difference, and books make significant difference in people's lives.
The amazing thing, Brenda, is it's really supporting the NHS, who have supported everyone through this global pandemic. It will really help people to have hope for the future, to find courage to step into their brilliance, to make a bomb of brilliance, Brenda. I would encourage everyone to go out and get a copy of Resilient Voices. It's on Amazon on Monday, the 5th of July. That's Resilient Voices. Go and get yourself a copy and know that you're supporting the NHS. Brenda, thank you so much for coming on to the Brilliance Business Show. I've really enjoyed having a conversation with you.
Thank you very much, Mark. Can I just say one last thing?
You can.
Although it's an ebook at the moment, we are going to have a physical copy of the book by the end of August. So just watch out, there'll be more details coming. So more money for the NHS.
Resilient Voices. Get your copy on the 5th of July from Amazon. Thank you everyone for watching Brilliance Business TV, conversations with leading experts in business. We have had an incredible conversation today with Brenda Dempsey. She has shared her journey of having a failing business due to COVID-19, but she stepped into her brilliance and she set up her publishing company. She has published 100 authors, is celebrating her first year in successful publishing business. And we have shared the amazing launch of Resilient Voices, which launches on the 5th of July on Amazon. Thank you everyone for watching Brilliance Business TV. Until next time, bye for now.